I am, and so are you, lucky to have Jasmin Bentink with me in the studio today. Where'd you go?
I went Singapore, Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand. So I applied to BHP's first year internship program. Do a couple of formal mentoring programs. I do one with Rio Tinto, which is a two-way Indigenous leadership. I do the WA Mining Club mentoring program as well.
Give me some quick fire. I want to make sense of it. Give me some quick fire answers. Epiroc intern.
Yeah, so big company, won a scholarship, got a placement there.
FTD.
Follow the Dream. So I don't know if you've ever heard of the Polyfarmer Foundation, but they are a program that supports Indigenous kids in public school. MADALAH.
MADALAH? Sorry, it's a Kiwi accent.
Foundation that has support from a number of mining companies, government and others to provide opportunities for students.
ITSS. Epiroc Women in Mining Ambassador. Chevron Cadet. UWA Ambassador. Speaks for itself. Now, this is the one that spun me for a six. I was just like, either loves Bunnings or there's just something else I don't understand in life, which is commonplace. Snags Industry VP. Welcome back to another episode on The Gold Room. I am, and so are you, lucky to have Jasmin Bentink with me in the studio today. Jazz, thank you very much for joining me. Much appreciated.
Thank you so much for having me.
Not a problem. So we always, as you know, you've seen Barry's episode. We always start with Intim Taylors, all the WA Mining Club legends.
Oh, I love them dearly.
We start with the life and the times. So you're only 20. And when I looked at your LinkedIn profile, I was just like, there's a lot of letters in the top there. I'm just like, what does she do? Like, you're obviously a very smart young woman. So let's get into the early life.
Yeah, absolutely. So born in Albany, down south. Grew up in Denmark my entire life.
Lucky.
On a farm, cattle, Angus beef. So that's all I knew. Agriculture was my life. Went to the local primary school, went to the local high school up until about year 11 when I lost my mum when I was 16.
Oh my gosh.
So after that, I finished my school through the School of Isolated and Distance Education remotely from Perth. Did ATAR, got through it, didn't love it, but it got me where I am today. Turned 18, thought, uni. I had my early offer from UWA, but I didn't feel ready to start yet.
What were you going to do?
So I was enrolled in agricultural science.
Dad would have been proud?
He was, the family business. It's what my uncle does. It's what my grandparents do. It's
you have any brothers, sisters, other?
I have an older brother, 4 years older than me.
Is he in the family business?
He is. He runs an ag contracting business, fencing. It is, everyone in the family, that's all we know. It's what we do. That's what I thought I was going to do. I was going to work in agriculture, but turned 18, booked a one-way ticket out of the country.
Where'd you go?
I went Singapore, Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, 3 months.
Where was your favourite place in Vietnam?
Oh, favourite place in Vietnam? Hue.
So mine was Hoi An.
I did love Hoi An. I spent a whole week there and I met lovely people. But Hue, look, maybe it wasn't my best decision, but I met this guy. He took me on a food tour. And then he's like, I have this friend who teaches English to kids in the countryside. Like, do you want to come out? And I'm like, do you know what? I don't have plans. Of course.
How old are you?
I was 18 at that point. Dad freaked out that I wasn't going to come home.
Yep. Fair enough.
Lady came and picked me up, got on the back of her motorbike. We drove an hour out of the city, went to her home, taught kids English for the day.
Awesome.
Had the best time. They all loved me dearly. And then, I got follow-up videos weekly, Jasmin, when are you coming back? Can you come back to Vietnam? We'd really love to see you. And I'm like, oh, bless. I would love to. So it's on the list when I get the time to go back and see them all. But the food,
well, I hope you do get the time. I just don't know when you would actually get that.
I know. I'm trying to fit a holiday in, but I don't know if I'm just going to get there. Enjoyed it thoroughly. On that trip, made the decision to not do agriculture and enroll. I enrolled in a double degree actually, so a Bachelor of Environmental Science majoring in Environmental Science and Management, and then also a Bachelor of Science majoring in Zoology. So had those both lined up to start mid-year. Had to cut the trip a little bit short because my granddad fell ill and passed away.
Sorry to hear that.
Thank you.
You've had a lot to deal with.
Oh, yeah. I may be 20, but I have lived a life.
Wow. Yeah.
I think that's why I always get, you're very mature for your age. And I'm like, well, had to grow up young. I was the only woman in the house. You kind of deal with everything.
Looking after all the boys.
Very much so. And I did like the family business. I took over the admin, the emails, the paperwork as well. So it was something that I got familiar from a young age, was in the cattle yards. Like you kind of get taught to, you get thrown in the deep end and you either, sink or
swim.
Yeah, sink or swim and, keep on swimming, keep your head up. Dad was in the army at a young age, and I think that discipline and regimen really carried through in his parenting style.
We'd probably get on really well because I'm a bit of a disciplinarian too with my young fellas.
They need a bit of structure in their lives.
Bloody oath they do.
They're not
Certainly
gonna go
my
anywhere.
ones.
Yeah, so... Yeah, that's what I did. Came back. I was at home for a month or two, and then made the move to the big city, and have been in Perth ever since.
You loving it?
I love the social aspect of being in the city. I miss the space and the greenery of being on the farm at home. Like at home, we have 2 boundary fences that are national park. So it's like I was continuously surrounded by green and wildlife, and I don't quite get that in the city, but that's okay.
A lot of loud noises in the city,
Definitely.
Cars, trucks, airplanes flying overhead.
Yeah, I sleep wonderful whenever I'm on site because it's so quiet. I'm like, this is great.
Yeah, I like going to site too. So mentorship and connection, right? So you've had a lot of help from, or a lot of assistance from people in the industry. You want to go into a little bit of that?
Yeah, so I started my degree, and the last industry I thought I'd go into is mining. Did the first semester, had no social life. All I did was study. I had great grades, but knew absolutely no one. But one of my tutors at uni was an environmental advisor at Rio Tinto, and he's like, Jasmin, you've got to get into mining. It's like the place to be. You're in WA. What else are you going to work in? So I applied to BHP's first year internship program, and from there kind of have built into the industry and mentors. So I do a couple of formal mentoring programs. I do one with Rio Tinto, which is a 2A Indigenous leadership mentorship program. So I have a wonderful mentor, and it's kind of really scary how well they matched us and how well we get along. Like to the fact that she has a holiday house down in Denmark, and yeah, it just
Have you used it?
No, I
wouldn't
haven't.
need to. You're so close to home.
I don't know. But yeah, no, it's like we get along so well, and she's so lovely, have helped me so much. I do the WA Mining Club mentoring program as well, with Ross as my mentor. And I think what I found across the mentorships is that I don't always want someone that is an enviro. It's been good to have people that work across the mining sector. Like I've done like one with Rio, not the leadership one, but with someone that was up at Port. And then the one that I've currently got, she works in communities. And Ross is head of like principal surface and underground mining. And the new one I started with someone that kind of works in the sustainability space. So what I find out of mentorships is that I love to ask questions. I love to be like a little bit nosy, and
There's nothing wrong with that. That's great.
I'm so curious. So I ask them like, where'd they start off? What do they learn? I love to float ideas by them, like what they get involved in, what they think about, the decisions I'm making. And I think it's been such a good way to learn about industry. Otherwise, you're kind of blindsided if you don't know someone in there. How are you going to know what the job's going to be like, what you need to know for it? And then informally, a number of the people on the WA Mining Club committee, have great chats with Rob and Barry. Jordan is great. And I've gotten to also the different internships that I've done. I kind of always latch on to one or two people.
I'm actually going to go into some of those because your LinkedIn profile, which I had to swipe up and bring it up because there is absolutely no way that I was remembering all of the acronyms. And,
I've used all 220 characters that you can fit in your LinkedIn bio, and I can't get any more in there.
Well, I've seen some. I think mine doesn't have bugger all on there actually, but yours is exceptional. So I want to ask you about a few of them and give me some quick fire, because usually we just have this long conversation, and we will after this. But give me some.
You want to make sense of it, yeah.
Give me some quick fire. I want to make sense of it. Give me some quick fire answers. Epiroc intern.
Yeah. So big company, won a scholarship, got a placement there.
Great. What does this scholarship entail?
So I got there in a peculiar way. It's Women in Mining Scholarship through AusIMM in partnership with Epiroc. When I applied to it, you had to be an engineer, which I am not. But I thought, you know, why not? I'll apply. They can just say no. Got through the interview stage and I was like, you know, I'm not studying engineering, right? And they're like, yeah, we know. I'm like, okay. And then, I got to go to the AusIMM Awards
don't ask,
dinner.
you don't get.
So continuing on, I got to go to the AusIMM Awards dinner. I kind of very late notice was like, you get up to do a speech. And I'm like, right. Okay. You have it's a national awards and it was held in Perth last year. I met lots of incredible people. And then from there, it came with a 3-month placement with Epiroc. I already had summer vacation work. So I was like, can we put it on pause? I have something lined up already. I have worked through there through last semester and they were nice enough to extend my contract and welcome me back. So I'll be heading back there next week.
Awesome. Obviously, you've already said environmental science and management student. Rio Tinto FTD?
Yes, so they're not together. They're two different things.
Sorry.
Yeah. So
what are you doing with Rio Tinto?
Rio Tinto, I'm one of their Indigenous scholars. So through that, I get some mentoring with Renee, who I talked about previously, and then I also get scholarship money and then the opportunity to do their VAC work and become one of their graduates as well.
Once again, amazing opportunity. Yeah. FTD?
Follow the Dream. So I don't know if you've ever heard of the Polypharma Foundation, but they are a program that supports Indigenous kids in public schools. So it's an after-school program in which you can study with your teachers. You have food, you do excursions. I did the program as a kid myself. I loved it dearly. It's the reason I got to come up on a camp to Perth and see all the universities, and I'm still involved with the foundation in some of their events and helping them kind of improve it for to the future. It's grown extensively. They're now not just in WA but have gone across the country, and the program just helps so many kids. It's something I'm really passionate about. Disadvantaged
kids or just any kids?
Indigenous kids.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. MADALAH? Sorry, it's a Kiwi accent.
Making a Difference and Looking Ahead. It's a foundation that has support from a number of mining companies, government and others to provide opportunities for students, high school students, to come to Perth and study in a private school to get a better education. And then they also have territory scholarships as well, which I'm one of their scholars. Wow. So I'm also a mentor with them as well. So my corporate sponsor is South 32 through MADALAH.
I see that.
They have a great team. I love them dearly. Caught up with them last week. I'll be holding their fundraising gala at the end of August as one of their MCs, which I'm very excited about. That's MADALAH.
Wow. Okay, so ITSS?
Yes, Indigenous Time at Sea Scholarship. So,
is that what you were just doing a couple of weeks ago?
It is.
Awesome.
So I got the opportunity to go spend 5 weeks out at sea on a research vessel with CSIRO, which was just the time of my life.
That's
it was
amazing.
the Enviro, living her best dreams. So we were doing marine research on the southeast marine region. So went out of Tassie, 5 weeks, didn't hop back on land. We were sorting through fish, dissecting them, doing water sampling, mapping. I loved it greatly. It was just field experience. Was so happy. We were working, I had the 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. shift.
Yep.
So that for 5 weeks straight was not that much fun. I've only just gotten back to my normal sleep schedule again. But yeah, that was that.
That's amazing. WAMC Scholar.
Yes.
Western Australian Mining Club.
Yeah, you know that one. So yes.
I got that.
I do love the mining club. I have had such a good relationship with them. Initially, how I got to know them was I applied for their scholarship, walked into, I think Central's was my first interview, and I had Rob Humphrinson sitting there. He's like, so what do you know? And I'm like, not much. And he kind of did the spiel. This is what the mining club is. And then I went and had another interview with Barry for the King Kira sponsored one.
Yep.
Unfortunately, didn't get either, but that's okay.
You still got to meet them.
Yeah, which was great. And I got
introduction.
involved in their YP, went to their events, and then I was fortunate enough to get invited to IMARC, which I had time of my life, got to speak on a couple of panels, met so many people. There was a couple of other students that Barry took over, and we kind of paired up, and I was paired up with a mining engineer, and we literally, the floor plan, we went back and forth, and we saw every booth except for the geos. Like, bless them. I love them, but I can't talk about rocks all day without having one next to me. So yeah, love them greatly. And then this year was a finalist for 2 of their categories, one sponsored by Mount Gibson Iron Ore and then the other one sponsored by the club, and was fortunate enough to win the environmental science category this
Congratulations.
year.
Another congratulations. It's all I've done all morning, isn't it? Epiroc Women in Mining Ambassador, that pretty much speaks for itself.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable with that. Chevron Cadet.
Yes. So I have dabbled in the energy industry as well, spent the summer with them. So applied for their cadetship, which is a program they have for Indigenous students that welcomes them back each year to look for employment opportunities within that sector, within the company. It's a part of their RAP plan. So, you know, had a great summer there. Got to go up to Barrow Island, and the project I did with science communication, yeah, had a great time.
Amazing. UWA Ambassador speaks for itself. Now, this is the one that spun me for a 6. I was just like, she either loves Bunnings or there's just something else I don't understand in life, which is commonplace. Snags Industry VP. So I was just like, it's a Saturday morning, run to Bunnings, getting a snag. If it's not that, tell me what it is.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I love me a good barbecue, but SNAGS actually stands for the Students of Natural and Agricultural Science.
Okay, that makes more sense.
So it's a faculty society at UWA, and we have a student-run club that supports all the students that sit under that. And I'm the industry VP. Very passionate about, you know, getting people involved with industry. So I kind of drive that, sit on the exec committee and that, not a snags club. As much as uni students think we are, we do sausage chisels for most events. It helps.
Okay. Fundraising?
Just to help support the club. Yeah.
That's nice. That's really good. Oz IMM, all over that. UWA SCMC?
Yeah, so Oz
the SC?
IMM has the student chapter, one at UWA, one at Curtin, and I'm the media coordinator. So all the LinkedIn and Facebook and posters, that's kind of what I do for them.
How do you do it?
Do you know Canva?
I do.
Yeah. We love Canva.
The team uses it.
Yeah, it's great.
I'm too old.
Yeah, Canva's great. You use it. I use it for everything. And then, I'm just the one that's everyone gather together. I need photos, okay? So that's what I do for them. It's been great. The committee, in that sense, we do have quite a large committee. We've got over 20 people now. Yep. It is a little bit representative of the industry. There's only 3 girls on the committee and about 20 guys.
At the moment? At the moment,
yes, of course. But great group of people. I'm heading over to Wollongong with a couple of them in 2 weeks' time. We're going to have a look at some coal mines. So that'll be good fun. The club's kind of, paid for our flights and things. So, great opportunity to see a different part of Australia.
You are extremely lucky. But luck probably has nothing to do with it. It is hard work, drive, and dedication. You know, a lot of people would be at high school. I can imagine that no idea what they want to do, but also the drive to actually get a scholarship to do all the applications. Is so who pushed you into that? Did you decide to do that yourself, or was it someone that said, "Hey, listen, we think you should do this"? How did that work?
Yeah, so no one's ever pushed me. I always had supportive parents, but they were big believers, do whatever makes you happy. And I think from early on, I knew there were scholarships out there. And I was like, well, there's these opportunities to connect with companies, and it goes beyond the financial assistance, which is great, but the connections and the opportunities that I get from that is what I really value out of them. And I just apply. And I think people wouldn't guess this about me, but I had really bad social anxiety as a kid. I would not be here talking to you.
I wouldn't.
I would not be getting up talking to people. So I slowly got better at interviews, and if you have a decent resume and you answer the questions, you have a good chance of getting yourself an interview. And then once you get in, and if you can yap, away, sell the story, as I used to say, you get a good chance, because not a lot of people apply to them. People are lazy, especially uni students.
100%.
So not a lot of people apply for them. And I think it's also the follow-up, people aren't good at responding to emails and keeping in touch. So when you don't do that, you kind of lose the opportunities. So, I have been very fortunate to get a number of scholarships and opportunities to support my studies.
Amazing. What do you think we could be doing better in this country to support young students? Do you think that year 9 is the right age to be putting a little bit of pressure on or asking students what they want to do when they finish school. What do you also think about scholarships and other companies? Some companies do it really well. Other companies aren't doing it at all. What could be done? I know, speaking of Barry was a site, there's a 50-50 mix between mining companies and contractors. What's your advice there? It's a 2-part question. Take your time.
Yeah, so let's start back at the Year 9 question. Year 9's too late. So I worked for Methodist Ladies College for 8 months when I first moved to Perth as the Indigenous liaison officer. And I had the conversation with the girls because you come to Year 10, you need to make the decision. You're doing ATAR, you're doing VET, what subjects are you going to do? So you really need to start earlier on. Having those conversations. What are you interested in? What would you like to learn about? Because when you get to that point, it's not that it's too late, but if you decide then and you kind of go in the wrong direction and then you're kind of locked into ATAR either for 2 years or you get stuck into a course that you might not like, it is too late. And I've just spent the last week on one of the WA mining clubs get into mining camps, had a great time. We took 21 kids from Year 10 to Year 12 down south. We went to a number of different mine sites and places and they learned so much. Now that is beyond the Year 9, but I think...
How many days was that for?
4 days. So...
Amazing.
Yeah, 4 days.
You covered a few different sites too, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. So we started at Redpath. We headed over to Swick to their underground training environment, which was great to see. I've never been underground. I really want to go there now. Went and saw Fortescue's hive. And then Taliesin Lithium was kind enough to let us stay at their brand new camp. It was so nice, so shiny and clean.
That's because... not many people are probably there at the moment.
No, it is a little bit more empty, but they're also in a construction phase. So they've got a lot of contractors coming in and out. So it's not always, very full of a camp. It was a bit quiet.
Yep. Do the kids have fun?
So much fun.
Awesome.
It was really cute. Like, we put together a second day. I was like, Barry, we need a WhatsApp group chat. I just can't do not having communication to these kids. So I created one. And then on the last day, Barry's like, oh, thanks everyone for coming to camp. And then the kids all sent through lovely, sweet messages like, thank you so much. Got so much out of this camp. It's really helped inform my future decision. And I was like, oh, bless, these kids are so sweet. It was amazing to see how they could form friendships and learn so much over the 4 days. And I think that is really vital. But I think starting earlier in primary school, like the Core Learning Foundation does, how they've kind of brought that through, I think it's so important. As someone that grew up not knowing what mining, not that I didn't know what it was, but I never thought of it as a career option. Had I known, I maybe would have gone in a different way with some things. But Year 9 is a bit late. I think what Barry's doing in educating teachers and getting these kids involved is so important for the opportunity to see it. Yeah, we got to continue when we saw Taliesin Lithium. We went to WestTrack, got to drive their tractor and hop all throughout the cab of the truck, see it remotely operated, which was, the kids were just that are into games and programming, oh, this is a job. And I was like, yeah, you can sit at a desk, get paid really well and drive big machinery all day. How nice is that?
Amazing.
And we also got to go see Iluka. I was asked all the questions because they've done some great rehab down there. And I was like, guys, look, the grass is growing. And they're like, it's grass, Jasmin, calm down. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. That was amazing to see. Got to see Albemarle and also Newmont. And then we also stopped by and had a look at the Premier Coal pit just so the kids can see the vast opportunities that there are. So there's not just, you don't just have to be a truck driver. Yeah. There's so many different job opportunities within the sector, whether you want to work away doing FIFO or Ditto, whether you want to be in Perth, whether you want to do a trade, go to uni. The opportunities are really endless. Yeah. If there's something you like, there's a job in mining that can, the
education, you're right. The education, we've said this time and time again, needs to start earlier. The education system needs
it needs a bit of a revamp. Yeah, absolutely. Sure. Doing ATAR, I believe ATAR could do with a bit of a restructure in how they kind of get people to graduate to go to university, how they I think there's still that, you don't get told about mining, and if you do, you only hear it from the media, and the media's not selling good stories about mining anytime. No. So it is kind of...
Good stories don't sell.
No, they don't.
It's only the doom and the gloom and then
that's all the students see.
That's exactly right.
They see the doom and the gloom. They see it on social media.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do with this. That's what I'm really trying to do with this, is to showcase amazing people, amazing businesses, and a amazing industry.
Yeah. It is such an incredible industry that has so many opportunities that if you get involved, like the amount of things that I've been over to do over the 18 months, what I have coming up in the next 3 months, is just incredible. And without it, I wouldn't have all these opportunities. Yeah, it really is incredible.
I do want to just mention something that you mentioned to me earlier. I'd really like for you to send that picture of Barry into me, please. Barry's a new in his retirement, a yoga instructor.
Yeah, so some, camp life is great. You've got your PTs, you've got all these facilities. So Uma, the Taste Life coordinator, thought acro yoga, it's great team building, trust relationship to do. So we all went into the rec room and Barry got involved, and there is the strength and the balance that it takes. I was like, shocked. Wow, okay, sure. It was great to see how excited the kids were, just to also working in the mining sector, it does come with that sacrifice. You're working long days, you're away from family, to show that there is that support and that fun. Most camps have classes on, or when we're at Newmont, they've got Reformer Pilates going on there now. So I'm like,
I don't even know what that is, but I can only imagine.
It's great. You pay like $30 a class in Perth for it, so why not have it on site to do it after work?
There's some amazing mine sites out there. I've heard these stories over and over again, and my time in mining on mining camps. Gym's average, but certainly no Reformer Pilates, would not that I'd bloody head
wouldn't partake. I did yoga the first night I got there, inducted into the gym, did some yoga with some other guys on site.
If Barry's doing it, maybe I'm going to bloody get involved and do it.
It's great. It's great stretching, great for your core. Yeah, it was a good laugh and team bonding experience.
Yeah, I can imagine. Environmental responsibility. Whose job is it?
It's everyone's job.
Great.
It is not just your environmental advisor or someone that sits within the HSE or SHEC team. It needs to be a collective effort. At Epiroc, I sit within the SHEC team. I have been one of the few environmental, health and safety is paramount. It's number one in our industry. But I think as changes come in how we look after the environment, it's becoming a lot more prominent in the news and a company culture that you also need to act in an environmentally responsible way. And a lot of the time I go around at work, and this is even the small steps. It's okay, we cannot put hydrocarbons in the normal bin. It's that simple. That's not something hard. You have to contribute. You just need to look at the colour of the bin and throw the rag in the right one. Yep. Or even
the red one.
Yeah. Oh, the black one.
What?
The black bin. Hydrocarbon's black usually.
No way. Red bins for hydrocarbon.
Well, there's a couple of different colours, but it's not yellow.
I'll cut that out. I'll just cut that part out. Yeah, so all the big skip bins, all the grease cartridges, the red wheelie bin.
Ours are black at work because red is general waste.
Green is general waste. So
green is organic.
Not on our fucking sites. Not on our sites, bro.
That's the confusion in that there's different companies and there's different people that uses them. So with that,
wait, we don't need to get we don't need to go down that road. I
can talk about recycling all day because it's my headache at work.
Well, there you go. That makes perfect sense because of.
But yeah, going back to it, environmental, it's everyone's responsibility, but it also starts with education and seeing that from the top down. If your management can't set a good example by providing that information on how to use it in an accessible way, then why can you expect anyone to follow or even care? If you kind of sell the story to them and say, this is why you should care about what you're throwing in, this is the impact it can have. People aren't mean. They don't mean to harm the environment, but some people just don't know better. Yeah. So you have to kind of inform them and educate them. When I was at Chevron, I got the opportunity to work on a science communication project. I rewrote 3 books and wrote 2 new ones on ecosystems and the flora and fauna on site. And it provided a great resource for people to go, wow, look at this species. Look how cool it is. This is a fun fact about them. They are endangered, protect them. And I think what I saw there is that everyone cares greatly about the wildlife on that island. It's a Class A nature reserve. It is very much ingrained into their operations there. It's not something that I've seen spread across the sector, but even visiting sites the past couple of days on the camp, you could see different companies and how people walking around. Some people would pick up the plastic, put it in the bin. Others just walk straight past, oil on the ground. Everyone has that different mindset and how it should be managed.
Yeah, that just comes down to communication.
It does, absolutely.
Within the different departments, and see someone doing the wrong thing, just give them a little reminder.
Yeah, and we've gotten there with safety, which is amazing, but we're not there with environmental yet.
It'll come.
Yeah.
It'll come. Have you seen any great examples of companies, certainly some of those big ones, that are doing the right thing on educating their teams within the environmental?
Yeah, so circling back to when I was at Chevron, they have these education books. So it has, not all because there's a lot of species on that island, but the flora and fauna, and those are kind of, you find them in most cars around site in helping to inform that aspect. And you have posters up of these are the ones that are endangered. If you see them, call the Enviro team. I think there, whilst it's not the mining sector, it's still the resource sector, and I saw a good example set there. I think the more I see and experience different companies, there are some things being done. It was a little bit disheartening when I went out to site a little while ago that there was just oil over the ground. People saw it daily and nothing was said. Whilst it's not directly impacting wildlife, it's leaking into the soil and it can go into the water table, which can be detrimental to the surrounding environment. So I think people do get complacent, and there just needs to be that reminder. If it's not there, nothing gets done about it.
Yep. As community expectations grow, how do you see sustainability and social license influencing those companies?
Yeah, so within just the general public, there's been so much around sustainability, emissions, what people expect from companies dealing with the environment. And I think because mining is a sector that has money and profits to do something about it, they get the spotlight shone on them. Most industries are causing environmental damage and harm, but they kind of hide away a little bit. I think the expectation that we reduce emissions, cut everything. We have our scope 1, 2 and 3 goals. I work on scope 3 goals at work to reduce emissions. We all have these targets. I think community plays a big aspect, especially if you're near a mine site. I saw it when I was down in Greenbushes, when I was in Kalgoorlie as well. Kalgoorlie's not the exception, but because, it's been there, mining's all it really has known. It's a town because of mining, where down in Greenbushes and Bridgetown, they don't know about mining. They don't expect there to be dusts and blasts. Getting back on track anyway, community government, it is key, but not in the aspect that they're going to whinge on about it. I think they need to be educated to what's actually happening and going on and put it in perspective. Growing up in the agricultural sector, pollution to the environment is high.
Waste runoff into rivers and creeks has been commonplace in the dairy industry.
It's huge. I grew up next to a dairy farm, and you see the trees are dead on the hill from all the runoff coming down. Nothing's said about it. We need agriculture, obviously, to grow our food and everything. And no harm to the agricultural sector, because what it does is incredible. But the mining sector, we have so many different regulations and things in place that we're very much tight on what we're allowed to do. The different procedures and policies kind of keep us in place to what we can do. And I think the general public don't understand in the aspect that they're not causing deliberate, in a sense, where we are knocking down ecosystems, everything, but the amount of different licenses and approvals and things that have to happen before we can think about building the mine site, all the environmental approvals, the biodiversity assessments, they have to first be done. And then before you start your mine, you have to know how you're going to close your mine.
That's exactly
You've got to
right.
have your life of mine plan, how you're going to rehab it, how you're going to close it. I think rehab is such a fascinating space. And CRC Times, I held a panel with them earlier this year and got to hear from some incredible people working in that space. And what people don't understand is that we are continually working to look at when the mine closes, this is how we're going to restore it, whether that be back to its natural environment or into something else that it can be used for, into pastoral land, into a tourist attraction. I think it comes under there's a lack of education and knowledge from the public to understand what environmental damage the mining sector is actually doing in comparison to everything else. Yes, a lot of emissions come off it, but a lot of emissions come off everything else we do in society. So I think there needs to be a comparison with a reality check that mining companies are doing a lot in the environmental space to be
a lot more than most.
Be better. Exactly. Where you've got Fortescue that is, 2030 being net zero, and I look forward to see how they achieve it and whether they get there.
Do you honestly believe that they will achieve that?
I think
Twiggy Forrest is keen.
He
But
is.
he's so keen. You need someone at the helm. You need
And I
someone
love
really
the
keen.
drive because
Same.
what they're doing is incredible.
Let's be realistic.
There will still be emissions, but there will be offsets. So what you have is you will make emissions, but you build yourself a nice little forest that captures carbon and that you're balancing it off. So it's not
Imagine that.
It's not zero emissions.
Imagine that nice little forest up north.
Oh, yeah, it'd be thriving, Got all the trees and the 40-degree heat. It's growing really well. I don't know that it's not going to be achieved in the way that people think it is. It's going to be achieved with buying carbon credits, having those offsets. They're not going to stop polluting into the environment by 2030. That's not feasible.
No, and look, it does need someone. One thing I do like about Twiggy Forrest is you do need someone at the helm positively pushing for a cleaner, greener future.
You do,
Definitely.
absolutely. Someone has to push.
Someone has to be that guy, and it's him.
Yeah.
So good on him.
Yeah, someone's got to lead the fight and lead by example, and I do look forward to seeing how it works and seeing other companies follow in their footsteps and becoming lower carbon operations.
What has been the biggest lesson that you have learned across all of these industries?
Culture and people is something that I bang on about. It's something that I find so important. I've had placements across government, I've done politics, I've done energy, I've done research, and I've done mining. I've seen a number of different sectors, and you see the culture and the attitude change across them. The number one lessons I've learned is that I never want to work for a company that has a bad culture or not a friendly team. I think the team that I work within, I've been fortunate enough to sit within teams where everyone's so lovely, get along, not just as colleagues, but as friends. Because when you're working long days, they need to be not just colleagues, they need to be friends too as well. And going beyond that, I think the biggest lesson I've learned is putting myself out there and getting to network. People know my face now, they know my name, and I think that's helped me the most.
I just keep shaking my head because I think it's like I'm sitting across the table from someone who's like, you don't look it 30 or 40 years old, but you've lived like multiple lifetimes in this short period of time. You've just had a red hot crack.
I definitely have, and I think it's that I very rarely say no to an opportunity. I'll say yes and I'll make it work. I live by my Google Calendar, and without it, I wouldn't get anything done. But, I touch base with everything, and the biggest lesson learned is you make those connections, you keep up with those people. It's not you meet them once, you forget their name, you forget their face. It's when you see them again, you're like, oh, how did that go from the last time we talked? Or like my manager from other internships, like I'll catch up for coffee, like how's things going at work, like how are the kids, that sort of thing. Yeah, connections is something that uni students really struggle with. It's like at uni, you have like, I had a network session and I've been invited to one and I'm like, I don't really need to come, but I can lead the example.
Exactly. So you should go and you should be able to sit there and talk to everybody else and say, this is why you need to be coming to these things.
Yeah, people need to put themselves out there. And it's scary if you don't know someone and if you are introverted, going to a networking event where you know no one and you have to walk up to a stranger and go, hi, I'm Jasmin. And, talk about, anything.
I'm not introverted.
Oh, really? Really? Oh, wouldn't have guessed. But, people don't have that self-confidence, I don't think, or don't believe in themselves that most people are nice. They're not going to, look at it. If someone is at a networking event, they're expecting to talk to other people.
That's exactly right.
They expect to hear from other people, meet new people. That's why you're all there. So I think just having the confidence to go, I'm going to go to this event. If I just meet one new person, that's a success.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that's what I've loved so much about the sector. Everyone in mining is so supportive, and I've found, at least from my experiences, really friendly. Love to have a chat, whether that be, about work, about uni, or, about the football on the weekend. People are friendly, they're nice, and it helps so much in that you almost build and become a little bit of a family in this sector because, as the saying goes, everyone knows everyone. And that is so true.
That is very true.
I now can go to most events and at least know one person. I've been to events interstate and I know people.
Wow.
Because it is a small industry. Despite it having such a large impact, it has a lot of the same people, and once you know them or they know of you, you don't escape.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't attended myself too many. I've always been too busy, and that's the excuse that I always give because
Life is busy.
It's very busy. So I have gone to the WA Mining Club luncheon once, and I do want to go to more.
Have you been to a YP event?
No, I haven't.
I really could see it being your kind of thing.
There's a tall blonde. I see him on LinkedIn. Tall blonde fellas, Jamie Fox.
James Fox.
James?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you know him well? He went over to IMARC. He was kind of like, so he's graduated. He works for IGO. He was like our mentor student.
I think he might have actually contacted me on LinkedIn. He might have sent me a bloody connection or something.
Possibly. Yeah. He very much does put himself out there.
I remember seeing you and him on a stage or on something, or standing together with a photo or something.
Yeah, I think maybe with Linda, who's also on the YP committee, at the scholarship dinner earlier this year. No, I have gotten to know James through the WA Mining Club, through that first trip initially, and then
What's he like?
He's good fun.
Okay, cool.
You
Loves
have a
the
good
frothy?
chat. Yes.
Oh, cool.
Absolutely. I think you two would get along
Yeah,
really
okay.
well.
Maybe I'll send him a message.
Yeah,
How you bloody going, young fella?
I think absolutely. You get along super well.
Yeah, okay.
He was also a part of Core Learning. He did that program and is a little bit of Susie's poster child.
Oh, really?
When we were over at IMARC, he did those speeches, and he's very much involved in that space and does help to kind of educate the kids as well and be involved. And he is at the luncheons as well when he's not on site.
I'll try and find
But he usually is at most YP events because he sits on the committee.
Okay, cool. Why do you think mining struggles with its public image? And here's the one. What are you going to do about changing that?
I'm going to start with why it struggles. So as someone that had that, media bias towards the mining industry before I knew someone in it, it's because the only source of information is either through news stories, in which are never positive, or you have the, BHP ads on TV, which people just turn off the minute they hear them. And if they're your only two sources of information, you're going to not want to join the industry.
All of those ads weird me out because everyone's so clean.
Yeah.
No one's no one's clean.
No one's that clean on site.
No one.
Have you met the dust in the, red dirt?
They've got
everywhere.
brand new Oliver boots on, brand new uniform.
Yeah, it's crispy. And you're like, oh, no.
It's just not real. They're paid actors, for God's sake. It's not like this. Real life.
Exactly. And they don't see the real image. And I think when all you see and you hear the bad news stories, kids are like, why would I want to work in a sector where society hates me?
Yeah.
And that you are away from home. You don't hear about the good things that the companies do, the good social and community things that they get involved with. You hear they've destroyed this, they've hurt this.
They blew this up.
Yeah, someone's gotten hurt and they've done nothing about it. And if that's all you know, why would you want to join that? Yeah. I think it needs to stem, and this is something that, coming back to the WA Mining Club, is that this year's scholars will be going into schools and talking to kids and going, these are the opportunities I've been given. This is what I actually do for work. It gives you the opportunity to see that there's all these opportunities, and you see that it is not bad. It's not, destroying the world. We need mining. It's very important.
You're not going to have an iPhone in your pocket.
Exactly.
You're not going to have a computer.
We wouldn't have many things in life without it. And people see it as the evil, but it's not that it's the evil necessary. It is the necessary to function. We want all these green technologies. We need to be mining minerals to be able to make them.
Do you know what we need to mine? We need to start mining uranium here in WA.
That is the next big topic, and I think people are scared around that because when it is talked about, back to the media, it's talked about in a negative way. I think
they used it as a political power play during the last election, which was a little bit disgusting, but obviously that's what politics is, isn't it? We don't talk about politics
No,
here.
we don't talk about politics.
No politics, no religion, no bad quarterly reports. That's what I say.
Yeah, those things should not be talked about. Not on here, at least.
So what are you going to do? What are you going to do with all of these snags and all these acronyms that you're a part of? What are you going to do to assist the mining industry to change the way it's perceived?
I'm going to get involved. I'm going to show people the opportunities that mining gives you, and that look at the things that mining companies are doing, the incredible things. We wouldn't know as much as we know about the environment in WA without all the environmental assessments that have to be done for the mining industry. You wouldn't know about critically endangered populations. You wouldn't know about a wide variety of things. But what am I going to do? Snags, it is, it's where I spend a lot of time. Connecting students from university to industry is something I'm particularly passionate about. People get to the last semester of their degree and they go, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. 60K later in debt. Another 10 grand, let's do honours. And I'm like, why would you waste another year of study when you could be out in the workforce? But people don't make that effort to connect, to get internships, and they get there and you're not employable because you've got no experience. You know no one knows you. So I'm trying to educate. You start early on. You go and engage, and you get to know people, and you get those internships throughout your degree so that when you get to that, if you want to do research, that's fine. I've done research before. It is great fun. Not for everyone, not for me.
Lonely lab type carry on? Yeah. Not for me.
I don't think I could do a PhD. I did one 8,000 word paper. That's me and my research time done personally. But something that we've got an event coming up in 4 weeks where we're doing a student meets industry night, where we're bringing in, and we've got about 30 companies where students can, meet people that work there, talk to them about, this is what I do in my day-to-day. It's something that AusIMM, the student chapter, we had our SMI earlier on this year. We had 500 people come. It was great to see turnout. The amount of involvement in students that want to be in the industry. Albeit there was a lot of international students, we still need to stem back into those high schools. And I think that's why when Barry sent the email about 6 weeks ago, he sent it to every scholarship winner that was a female. I need female chaperones for this camp. Who can come? He already had someone, but I was like, Barry, do you have space for me? I'd love to come along because I am so passionate about sharing the amount of opportunities and things I've been able to do. It is truly incredible, the opportunities this industry has given me, that I wouldn't get it in any other place. There isn't the resources or the support or the people to go, you're going to go far places. You've been given this opportunity, you've taken the most of it. And I think I take that enthusiasm into uni, I take it into high schools. I mentor not only with the WA Mining Club, but also with MADALAH, and I've mentored with Aurora, and I'm just so passionate. I see these kids and they're subject to so much information. You have teachers down their throat going, you need to make a decision on what you're going to do. And teachers are not the issue, but they don't know about the mining industry because they're in the education sector. You wouldn't expect them to. I think there needs to be more external coming into those schools going, look at the opportunities that there is. And I think up north, you see it more because there's those big companies up there. But down south, I grew up down south. I didn't know we had all those mines that I saw last week. Yep. It's very much that they were in my backyard and I didn't know about them. Because it's hush, hush, quiet. We don't talk about the mining sector because...
It's what runs this country.
Exactly.
It's what keeps us alive.
Exactly. During the pandemic, what was, keeping everything going? It was the mining industry. It's the
WA mining is what ran this country during COVID. It didn't shut
down. It provides so much money to our economy, and that without it, we would not have the lifestyle that we do have. It's something I'm very passionate about, trying to spread it through being involved with AusIMM, involved with the WA Mining Club, and branching that into schools. And what people are doing to get into schools, it's great, but we need more people because people in the mining industry are so passionate about it, but it's just about spreading that a little bit further and getting into those environments where mining isn't talked about and seeing those opportunities and going look at the things that I was able to do at 20 years old. I got to go out to Kalgoorlie and go to conferences. I was sent over to Sydney. I've got a trip to Wollongong and to Darwin to see these amazing things.
It's crazy.
And I wouldn't be here and get those opportunities without the mining industry. I wouldn't have the scholarships I have to support without the companies that have trusted me and supported me and given me these mentors and this financial assistance. So I think, what am I going to do? I'm going to continue that drive and sharing my love for the industry, and that I'm so excited to kind of finish my degree so that I can work in industry and spread it even further. I think being within uni, I do have that kind of connection with students, but even I sit in my classes at UWA and people go, oh, you're going to go work in the mining industry? You know, that's bad for the environment. And I'm like, you'd think at the time that you're 2 years through your degree that you'd know by then, but people don't.
Take their laptops off them.
I'm like,
give them a pencil and some paper, and then say, there you go. Do
something with it.
Do some study on that.
Exactly.
No chat GPT, no nothing.
Oh, no, we'd all struggle without that. It would be no good times at uni.
I can imagine.
But yeah, the issue still stems in that if you're not actively looking for it, you don't see it. You don't see the opportunities that mining have. And I even do it like when I run industry events or panels with Snacks, people are like, why do you always get people from the mining industry on the panels? And I'm like, because that's where most of our environmental jobs in Western Australia come from. Whether you work for the company directly, or if you're a consultant, your client is the mining company. You work for government, you're working with them in some aspect to manage the natural resources. There are very few environmental jobs within Western Australia, within Australia, where you're not interacting with the mining industry in some way or another, or they're not supporting your research. So I think it's failing on a number of levels. It's failing from the high school level. Within university, they're not showing you like what the mining industry contributes. Even within my units, like I've done like hydrology and land rehabilitation. We have like 1 week on like mining sector. I'm like, that's not enough time. We look at other things for so much longer that you just wouldn't do in real life. And I think that's where I'm getting through my degree in the hope that I'm just like, okay, 7 more units and I'll be done, because I learned so much on the job. And at this point, it is a piece of paper that I need to go, look, I'm qualified. I've committed to something for 3 years. I've done my due diligence. Give me a job. Because that's when I think I can have that more impact and show people that this is what you get involved in. This is what you do. These are the lovely people you can work with, and go back into those university environments and show people and talk about them. I have great connections through in that space that once I graduate, I'll always come back. As you know, like I love to yap. I love to have a chat. I'm always happy to spread and show the love for the sector, because it is an industry that does so much for our state. It does so much for the way that we run our country, and that without it and without people knowing about it more, we're going to struggle to get workers into the future. We need that push and that drive, because people just won't look to it. And it is unfortunate, but it's where we might end up. We might have a lack of people, and not that we discourage international students, but we will have a lot more of them coming in and filling in those job opportunities, and you'll have more people in Australia sitting on welfare benefits instead of getting a job that can pay them well and that you can contribute, to, the country globally, instead of, sitting at home and doing nothing.
You are dead right. I believe that, and I don't want to go down into the political route, but I'll tell you what, once we shut up shop for the day, I'll be able to give you my ideas, my thoughts. Well, Jess, thank you very much for coming in and spending time with us. I've learned a lot. I think you are an outstanding young woman. The world's your oyster. You're involved in so much. You help so many people out. Good luck. Good luck with anything, anything and everything that you choose to do.
I'm really excited about the future. I'm only 18 months into really knowing this sector, and there's so much for me to learn and grow and absorb, and I just look forward to what there is to come in the future, spreading the love of mining and the opportunities that it provides to students and young people, and I just hope more people will get involved.
They will. They will. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for tuning into another episode on The Gold Room. Exceptional episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below. Cheers.